and welcome to Red Lipstick. So today I wanted to share my monthly favorites with you. These are my favorite products for the month of January, and I've got quite a few makeup products here to share with you, so let's get into it. I also this time have some products that I don't like that I did want to share with you as well, so stay tuned for the end of the video for those products. So first product here that I have is a product that I actually wasn't sure how I felt about when I tried it out in my Sephora try-on video, if you guys watched that. It is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I at first didn't really notice a big difference, but as I continued using it throughout the month, I noticed actually a pretty big difference, especially when makeup was applied to my acne pitting area up here. I noticed that the pitting was almost like filled in like a poreless kind of primer would kind of do, but no poreless primer has done that well to fill it in. I think because the putty is a little bit thicker, it can get into those scarring areas I have on my forehead and really kind of like cover them up and fill them in. So applying makeup over them looks beautiful. I also really love it for the under eyes because it makes my makeup not crease under there, and it looks a lot prettier. Also, I want to point out that the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is a total dupe for this. So if you don't want to splurge the like $52 or something that this is, definitely pick up the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. It's essentially the same thing and it looks just as beautiful on the skin. I watched a video recently, or not recently, a few weeks back from the Taylor, where she tried out these two products next to each other on her face and did a wear test and stuff, and she had the same conclusion that these both wear the same and this is cheaper. So definitely check it out. I think this is $6 compared to 52 or 54. Huge savings there. The next product that I've been loving that I've also tried out in the same video is this Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow. This is another one that I was kind of like iffy about in the video, wasn't sure how I felt about it, but the more I used it, the more I grew to love it. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, very glowy foundation. So if you're not into super glowy foundations, you're not gonna like this, but on my skin, I have dry skin. It does emphasize the pitting and scarring that I do have, but if I use the putty primer with it, it doesn't look bad. And also if I take it down with powder, take some of the glow down, it doesn't look noticeable at all. But I leave the glow on the rest of the face and I don't set it, and it's this beautiful radiant foundation. It looks very skin-like, it sinks into the skin, it doesn't sit on top like some can do, and it's just so pretty. Also, the other thing is it has really, really great coverage. If you use it with a brush, it has almost like high, medium to full coverage. So I definitely recommend this if you're looking for those things in a foundation. Next up is a concealer that I've been loving, which is the Makeup Revolution Concealer. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. This is supposed to be a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape, really? I think everyone has said that accidentally. But this is a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape, and I don't like Shape Tape. I'm not a huge fan of it. I never have been. I don't feel like it gives me the coverage that everyone else seems to rave about. But this one does. This is beautiful on the skin. It doesn't make the under eyes look crepey or creasy. It's beautiful, and it has fantastic coverage. It covers up my dark circles. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Such a great formula. Doesn't look drying. I think it's so good. So I definitely recommend this. I would say if you like Tarte Shape Tape, give it a try, but I don't think it's like that. So I think if you don't like Tarte Shape Tape like I don't, try this out and you might really like it. Next up, I have a highlighter that I tried out at my Sephora try-on video. This is the Dior highlight. This is called Dior Nude Luminizer, and it's the beautiful pink one. I've been wanting this for literally years, and I finally splurged and picked it up before Christmas. I had a gift card and it was the 20% off sale, so I ended up getting it, and I'm so glad I did. It is actually on my face today. You can see it gives a very pretty luminous glow without being one of those really stark, super noticeable highlights. It's a little bit more subtle, but it's not overly subtle, so you can actually see that you're wearing highlight. I think it's just a very beautiful, natural kind of highlight. And they come in several different colors. I think there's at least four that it comes in, and I just think it's beautiful. It is a little bit pricey, so I would wait for a Sephora sale if I were you, or if you have a gift card and want to splurge. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. Next up, I have a lip product that I've been loving. This is the Burt's Bees lipsticks. This is number 501 Blush Basin, and they look like this. and they're just really beautiful bullet lipsticks. I have not worn bullet lipsticks in such a long time. I tend to just go for a liquid lip, which I have on my lips right now, but I'm gonna put this over and show you guys how beautiful the pigmentation is. It's just so pigmented and creamy, and they feel really hydrating, almost like a lip balm. I think they're fantastic. I don't love the way that they smell. They smell a little bit on the chemically side, which is, well, not chemically side because there's no chemicals in these. They smell a little bit more like natural products. Has that very plain smell. But they're just so moisturizing. They feel really nice on the lips, like a lip balm. So I definitely recommend these if you have drier lips and are looking for a moisturizing lip product. Another lip product that I have is the Fenty Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Uncensored. This I wore for Christmas, and I've been wearing it ever since in the month of January, and I'm just in love with it. It is a formula that does transfer. So you're not gonna get, like, once it stops transferring, you still have color on your lips. But it is going to transfer onto like cups and things until it kind of like really gets down to its last layer, and you'll have kind of like a red stain on your lips. But it's not like completely dry down matte formula. It does have that transfer to it. That's the only downside to it, but I do think it's a beautiful color. It is one of my favorite reds in my collection at this point. I love the applicator. It has like this weird applicator. If you guys have never seen it before, this is what it looks like, but it's so easy to apply product to the lips with that applicator. I don't know, looking at it, I kind of thought, you know, it would be difficult to use, but it's really not. It gets around the cupid's bow really well, especially it gets in the inside corners here, which I always have trouble with standard bullet or standard doe foot applicators, but it works so well, and I really love it. I love this product. Next up, I have a brush to share with you, and this is a BH Cosmetics brush. It is number 16 in their collection. All of their brushes are just kind of numbered rather than named, and you can buy this brush individually, but this is the best blender brush for my transition shades I've ever used. It makes any eyeshadow product, any product that's normally like patchy, not easy to work with, it makes it a dream to work with that product. It's just something about the bristles and the way it's tapered and how fluffy it is that it just works super, super well to blend out that transition shade and blend anything. Like, I had a really hard time with the eyeshadows that I'm wearing today. I'm going to show you guys the palette and the products I don't like. But it made it so much easier to blend out that transition shade, and it looks okay, I think. But those shadows were not great. But it made it so much easier for me to work with them. So I really recommend this brush. You can get it individually on their website, and I will link it down below. Next up, I have a product from ColourPop. It's one of their Super Shock eyeshadows, and this is one of the Disney collection ones. This is Super Shock Shadow Ultra Metallic in So This Is Love, and it is this gorgeous, like, purpley pink metallic shade. I am in love with it. It's so pretty. I'm gonna swatch it on my hand for you guys so you can see. It's just so pretty. It's like almost like a muted mauve kind of color, so it's an everyday kind of color. I really like it. It's not too bright and in your face. I think the metallic in it is really pretty. It almost looks like just a shimmer eyeshadow, but yet it stands out. I think it's so beautiful. I love the formula. This is the first time I've ever tried the Super Shock eyeshadows. I've tried their cheek products and their highlighters, but I've never used the eyeshadows before, and I'm in love with them. I think they're so easy to work with and apply and blend out. They're just beautiful, and they're so creamy feeling. Feel like a liquid, but they're a powder. It's a really cool formula, and I definitely recommend it, and I just really liked this color. So if they still have it on the website, I would check it out. Then finally, I have two eyeshadow palettes to share with you that I'm loving for this month. The first one is probably no surprise because I've used this quite a lot in the past 2 months on my channel. This is the e.l.f. Opposites Attract eyeshadow palette. It is so good. It's just so pigmented. It does give some fallout, and you can see like the tray looks a little bit dusty because it does have that kickback. But the shades are easily blendable. They're so pigmented. The shimmers are just gorgeous. I'm gonna swatch some shimmers. Like, look at that. That's one of the shimmer shades. Look how pigmented that is. That is this shade here in bold. Just such beautiful shades. You can come up with so many different looks with this. I'm loving like the mustardy colors in here and all the oranges, but yet you can really come up with a neutral look using some of the browns and stuff, and there's even pops of color in here. So it's really pretty palette. It's easy to use, easy to blend. The fallout doesn't really bother me. You just kind of kick it away with the brush, and it's a gorgeous palette. Very affordable, $14 when it's not on sale. And last but not least is a palette that I picked up at Ulta. It is the Norvina palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Mostly I'm in love with the shimmer shades. I feel like they're just such a different kind of formula. They almost feel wet, kind of like a Super Shock eyeshadow. And the payoff is amazing. They're just so pretty. That is that silver one there, or that bronzy one there. It's just so like metallic and reflective. They're just beautiful. You don't have to use a glitter glue or anything with these. They just stay on the eyes really nicely. I actually really like the mattes as well. I think they did a really good job of picking neat matte colors. Like I love these two shades here, and these three together would be just beautiful. I love that there's a pop of blue in here, but you still got your neutral browns. And yeah, there's just nothing bad I can say about this palette. I just think it's really cool if you're looking for really nice pops of shimmer and you like these shades. I especially love the browns, the golds, and the bronzes in here. The other ones are really pretty, but those are the ones that I'm drawn to, and I think they're just gorgeous. So I would definitely check this out if you were thinking about it. It certainly is worth the money. So now I want to talk about some products that did not impress me this month. I have 3 of them, and 2 are eyeshadow palettes and 1 is a highlight. So we'll start with the highlighter. This is one of the ShanXO XO Beauty highlights. I was really excited when I first got this, and if you don't know, ShanXO here on YouTube owns her own beauty company. She started with lashes, then did brushes, and now has cosmetics. And I will link her website below because I do think her brushes are amazing and her eyelashes are amazing. I just didn't like this highlight. I didn't feel like it gave enough highlight for me. It's a very natural one. It's almost like a face powder. Like, I'm gonna put it on my hand right now. Can you even see where I put it? It's over here. It's just too natural for me. Like, it kind of doesn't pay to even use it. I feel like it's so not noticeable. You have to put a cream underneath it to even make it wearable. So I just was really not impressed with this. This is the only one of her highlights that I've tried, so some of her other ones might be better. But I just don't recommend this one. This is in Radiant Glow Highlighting Powder in Aurora. Next up, I was so disappointed in this product because I love all the other ones. It is the Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette in the shade, I don't know, it's this one. I think I ripped off the tag where it had the name, but it's this one. It's one of the newer ones, and I rave about these palettes. I think they're so good and they're so affordable, but for some reason this one is the only one that has ever given me patchy eyeshadow. For some reason this one was not blendable. The darker colors were almost impossible to work with because they were so patchy. They did not blend out well. I was disappointed in the shimmers because they're like all the same. It seems like they're all the same color. There's 4 in here that are extremely similar in color. It's just, I was not impressed with this, and I'm really sad about it because I usually absolutely love these. And last but not least is the eyeshadow that I have on my eyes today that I'm really disappointed in. It is the Jacqueline Morphe palette. It doesn't say the name on the back, but it's the blue and green one. I am so disappointed in these shadows. The mattes are so patchy. They're really hard to blend out. It's impossible to blend out the darker colors. Like you can see, like I just have a mess kind of here on my eyes. These shimmers, I will say, are beautiful, but there's a ton of fallout. So if you don't like fallout, you're not gonna like this. I don't care when it comes to fallout. I just kind of flick it off my face with a brush. I only care about fallout if it sticks to my face, which usually doesn't happen. So I can't really fault the shimmers. They're good. The mattes though are just impossible to work with. I think they're really, really pigmented, but they don't blend. So I'm really sad about this palette because I thought that this was such a beautiful color combination. I'm really disappointed with it. Alright guys, so those are my favorites and not so favorites for the month of January. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.